Best gaming fans have dreamed of becoming game programmers unless they have no interest in coding whatsoever. Well, it's not as easy as it might seem. It takes years of hard work to finally be able to create a video game. If you've decided that you do want to become a game developer, or if you're simply interested in how other people become game developers, then here's the steps to become a game developer. Step 1. Game with purpose. The first step to master something is always to become an adept student of that subject. If you want to become a great musician, listen to great music first. If you want to write the next great novel, read all the great novels written before. And if you want to develop the next great video game, play the greats that came before. It's not enough to mindlessly play them though. You have to play mindfully, trying to understand the different decisions developers made. Play the game and pay attention to the narrative structure of the game, how it's put together. Become the student of the subject first. Then worry about the rest. This is the first step on how to become a game developer. Step 2. Immerse yourself in the community. One of the biggest advantages of living in the 21st century is that we are all interconnected. You have the power to connect with people who share your passion for video games but live on the other side of the world. This would have been unimaginable 100 years ago. Take advantage of it. Being active in the community will give you a more clear insight on how to become a game developer and also help you find your first gaming industry job. If you know people who work in the industry already, you might hear of job openings. Who knows? These friends may even recommend you for the position. Step 3. Make a plan. Game development is an extremely complicated subject. Approaching it without a plan is a sure recipe for disaster. First, decide what your end goal is. Do you want to make the next Assassin's Creed? Do you want to release the next Pokémon Go? The things you need to learn to achieve your goal are vastly different for both cases. Your plan should cover a lot of different parts, including the engine you want to start with. There are a lot of different game engines to choose from. If you haven't heard the phrase before, a game engine is a framework upon which the game is built. It handles the game's physics, inputs, artificial intelligence, scripting of in-game events and many other things, so that you don't have to code it all from scratch. There are several game engines you can choose from and play around with to make something playable, including Unity, the Unreal Engine, and CryEngine. Step 4. Start learning now. When people wait for circumstances to be just right, they almost always end up not doing it. How to become a game developer? Start learning now. Play the great games and analyze them, become active in the gaming community, find people who are learning to become a game programmer just like you. Step 5. Master it. While learning how to make a game, you might come up against concepts that seem completely useless. Persist, don't ignore them. Every function in Unity and other game engines have a purpose. It might not be readily obvious, but some game programmers spent long hours, even days, coding it into the engine so that you could use it. You owe to them to learn to do it and use it, at least, when needed. Step 6. Find a team. Game development is a team sport. If you wanted to make a game by yourself, learning how to become a game developer and use game engines wouldn't be anywhere close to enough. You would have to become an illustrator, animator, composer, VFX master, writer, marketer, a true renaissance man of the 21st century tech world. In short, it's impossible to do in 10 years. Instead, you can use your connections in the community to find people to help you. You should all come together, figure out an idea for a game, make a plan on how you're going to make it and get to work. Step 7. Pay your dues. The beginning of your career as a game developer is going to be hard. Everything you do will be new, meaning that you will have to figure it out first. You will work a lot, make a game in your free time for free, publish it, and it will probably flop. There are thousands of games available, it's not likely that a lot of people will choose yours. Don't allow it to demotivate you though. Just start the next project and make it better, learning from the mistakes you made before. Once again, if it would be easy, how to become a game developer, everyone would do it. Step 8. Decide on your career track. Let's say that you are now a game programmer with a couple of completed projects under your belt. At this point, you need to decide how you want your career in the gaming industry to go. You are choosing between two tracks. Employee or employer. Employee, the easier way to progress in your career once you know how to make a game and can prove it is to ask around and look through the job sections of most developers' websites to see if they are looking for junior game programmers and apply for that position. Employer, if you're not a fan of working for someone else, you can choose to go down the harder road and try to grow your own burgeoning game development studio. Step 9. Leave your ego at the door. At any point in your journey, to truly learn how to become a game developer, you may have the urge to think you're the greatest thing to grace the gaming industry ever. While you may even be the most talented game developer in the history of the world or have the greatest ideas nobody's ever had, it doesn't matter. Accept and learn to love and live by the principle that ideas aren't worth anything. It's all about how you execute them. Forget your ego, let your work speak for itself. Step 10. Never give up. A dizzying rise to the top of the gaming industry is a nice thing to dream about, but let it stay there. Even if you are extremely talented, and the only thing outstripping your talent is your work ethic, it will still take years for you to make it. We don't mean to demotivate you, only prepare for the road ahead. Of course, if you were destined to figure out how to become a game developer and succeed, we couldn't demotivate you, no matter how hard we tried anyway. The fact of the matter is that the first game you make will objectively suck. The first job you apply for you probably won't get, unless you had prepared for it well beforehand. You will face numerous rejections on your way, but you can't let them get you down. After all, you can't win this game if you don't play with full effort and focus. If you thought some games on the hardest difficulties were hard, wait until you try to earn the privilege of making them. So those are the steps on how to become a game developer. I hope this video has been helpful. Now the rest is up to you. If you want more video like this, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you will get updated.